sit down. Are we up? Good evening, Flyer Wrestling and Flyer sports fans. Welcome to our first broadcast of the Flyer Wrestling season, winter season here, 2018. Looking forward to a triangular tonight versus Granite River Conference foes, Albany Huskies, and our longtime CLC rivalry and Section 8 AAA rival for many, many years, the ROCORI Spartans. Joining me tonight on tonight's broadcast is Larry Edgerton, Lincoln Elementary and Dr. S.G. principal, but also former wrestling great from St. James, Minnesota, and head wrestling coach at Long Prairie in the heyday of Long Prairie, getting them to state tournament multiple times. So welcome, Larry.
Thank you, Mr. Olson.
We're here tonight. We see the handshake going on. Flyers will wrestle Albany tonight in our first match, as that's the conference mat. And so our first up will be the Albany Huskies versus Little Falls Varsities. Looks like 9th grader Austin Litke, who wrestled the Flyers are coming off a 0-4 finish at the Chisago Lakes dual meet tournament last weekend, facing some of the toughest teams in the state. Kenyon won in a Mingo. Hibbing is just ranked in the state, and Cambridge was there as well as just in Foley. So they got they went from the proverbial fire into the frying pan right off the beginning to get a tough start to the season. Albany and ROCORI competed for the first time last Thursday night, I believe it was, in the Sauk Center early bird tournament, placing ROCORI placed 4th and Albany placed 5th. So up first tonight, looks like Austin Litke is going to be wrestling perhaps a young man named Devin Hansen from Albany, if the lineups are true and what we're looking at. Coming off an 0-4 Saturday, what do you tell kids coming into tonight's meet, Larry, as a former head coach? What would you tell them as we got started here tonight?
Yeah, I think you got to preach that you're not a scoreboard watcher. You go out and take care of your business, and you beat them on the mat. And the key is get the pins when you can, and don't give up the pins.
That's one of the things Larry mentioned about the pinning, and that's kind of been a forte of the Flyers throughout the years.
For Austin.
Is they're known for pinning, especially with their infamous Flyer cradle. Austin Litke with a quick takedown here to start the matches off tonight, working for that far side cradle. Taking things away has the, I didn't hear the name of the Albany wrestler, but I believe it is Devin Hansen. We don't have much for records to share with you tonight, as again, this is the second event for all the teams here tonight, so records are, we have a few out there, but for the most part, it's the beginning of the year. We'll see how things shake out.
And we got Austin working hard on top, and looks like he's got the cradle locked.
Got the cradle locked up. He's going to try to hip in and take him over for some near fall points and a possible pin, working right on the edge of the mat.
And just needs to take his time. Got plenty of time on the clock with a minute left.
seconds to go here. picked up a 2-point near fall. Referee does signal a 2-point near fall, was able to turn Bryce with an arm bar. Albany chooses to defer the choice. Bryce Udy takes the up position, which I'm sure the Albany kid's been coached is to watch for the cradle. So we'll see if Bryce can work the top position here. A little difference in body size here. It looks like Holthaus put together pretty well for a 113-pounder.
There's a escape for Holthaus.
There's a Holthaus 5-0 in the match early in the second period. Carson Holsouth wrestling in the Sauk Center tournament, finished 6th last Thursday at the Sauk Center tournament. Trainers at that tournament were Sartell, Kirkhope, and Murdoch Sundberg. Sauk Center, of course, ROCORI, which Albany will wrestle next. We won't be broadcasting that match, but that'll be the second match of our triangular tonight. Bemidji was there. Bemidji, of course, ranked as a favorite in the Section 8 AAA, of which Little Falls belongs to. Bemidji won that tournament by defeating Sartell by 6 points. So a pretty close tournament. Team tournament, not a team tournament, excuse me, an individual tournament. 7-0 is our score here in the second period. Carson Holthaus leading Bryce Udy of Little Falls.
Well, we got a clasping call on top.
So Bryce Udy locked hands. It's going to get, Udy's going to get a 1-point escape and a 1-point penalty for Holthaus clasping hands. Makes the score 7-2.
Yes.
Yep, there it goes. Holthaus in on a single leg. Got Holthaus in a little bit of trouble here. Holthaus able to whizzer. Udy working low on that leg, trying to pull that leg out from underneath and maybe perhaps get a takedown out of this.
He can get his arm free and whizzer it out and come around behind.
Watching ESPN Top 10 on Monday morning, Penn State was wrestling Lehigh. Situation just like the Penn State kid did a somersault in midair and got an escape.
I watched
he was
that
one of the top 3 plays of the weekend.
I watched that match.
Second period ends with the score 7-2. Holthaus choice decides to take the neutral position, or both on their feet. We begin the third period again with a 7-2 score by Holthaus of Albany leading Udy of Little Falls.
It would be nice if Udy could keep this close match and keep it to a decision if you can't win.
See who's, when we see early in the year like this about what kind of wrestling shape you're in. And a lot of kids do a lot of things in the fall, but you can do cross country or football or soccer, but there's nothing quite like wrestling a 6-minute match.
It's still not the same kind of conditioning.
So 7-2. Holthaus attempting used to be called an elbow collar. I'm not sure what we call it now, but
we used to call it a Kelly. Trying for a Kelly or an inside drag.
Holthaus is lower, Udy, is trying to get that far ankle and spin behind. And there it is. There's two. 7-4. Udy with a nice job. Here he's trying to look for that far side cradle, but he needs to get an anchor. He does have the cradle hooked up momentarily. Continuing to work there.
Yeah, he's got it locked.
He's got it locked, and unfortunately, just a little bit loose on the turnover.
Got to get his legs
30
back
seconds
and
remaining. Udy with the cradle hooked up. Holthaus, there's coming back over.
Readjust and get hip to hip.
Readjust and get hip to hip is what he needs to do to see if he can get some near fall points to tie this match up. He lost the elbow. There's a stalemate. Neither wrestler able to improve his position. Referee Jim Repke, longtime St. Cloud official, as I mentioned earlier, calls a stalemate. Holthaus going the down position. Udy down by 3 with 20 seconds remaining in this match. Udy with the locking again. Up. Looks like he's going to have that cradle hooked up. Holthaus picks up the legs, not letting Udy get across. But there he is. There's 1, 2, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5 near fall points. We got a tie match. Possible fall. Could have a possible fall. Great finish by Bryce Udy.
We got overtime.
We've got overtime here early in the year. Second match of the night. We got overtime. Bryce Udy of Little Falls.
Way to battle back for Udy.
Battle back from a 5-0 deficit to make the score 7-7.
Doing a nice job
Udy
controlling
looking
the
to work the arm
inside,
drag. Holthaus again working the collar tie. There's Udy in again on that deep single like he scored on earlier in this match.
Got to pick it up.
He's again working low, trying to get behind. Holthaus sprawls. Udy has to get back up to his base.
In
and
trouble.
There's a takedown for Holthaus. So overtime win for Albany, 9-7.
Good match
Carson
by Udy.
Holthaus defeats Bryce Udy. Makes the team score 4-3 in favor of the Flyers as we go to our 120-pound match. And right now, not sure who, we don't have anybody listed at 120, so we'll see who Little Falls puts out on the varsity.
Looks like Little Falls is open.
So 120, Little Falls does not present a wrestler, therefore Albany picks up 6 points on a forfeit. Now leading the match 9-4, where it move up to 126, where it looks like Calvin Sherwood.
Wrestling at 126 pounds for the Huskies, Connor Winkles. For the Flyers, Calvin Sherwood.
So Connor Winkles for Albany, wrestling Calvin Sherwood. Calvin wrestled quite a bit of varsity last year as well at the lower weight. Moves up to the 126-pound class. Sophomore who has been on the varsity off and on, I believe, since his 8th grade year. So plenty of experience. Plenty of experience. 126 for Albany, Connor Winkles. Just checking to see the results of the Sauk Center tournament. Connor placed 3rd, actually behind perhaps a matchup later tonight, Carter Thielen of ROCORI. Connor Winkles placing 3rd at the Sauk Center tournament.
Both kind of stuck there in the collar tie.
0-0. 1:15 to go first period. Connor Winkles noted to be one of the tougher wrestlers for Albany in our highlights for tonight. Mentioned as one of Albany's better wrestlers. We'll see what Calvin Sherwood could do. Winkles in on a single leg takedown. Sherwood whizzer trying to stop him, trying to pick up an ankle, anything you do to prevent him from getting this takedown. 45 seconds remaining.
Got him broke off his
Sherwood's got him
base.
broke down and extended, which gives him a chance if he can clear that leg to come around.
Got to do
And
it
there
quick.
is a quick spin around by
Two
Sherwood.
takedown.
There's 2
Nice
for a
go
takedown.
behind.
And there's hooked up the cradle again. Unfortunately, he got the edge of the mat. He needs to bring him back to the center if he can score with this.
Going to have to do it quick. We're going to run out of time. Got 20 seconds left to end the first period. And we get a stalemate.
We get a stalemate. One thing we noticed there as they were on the edge of the mat, now the change in the rules as of a year ago was that to be completely off the mat. In the past, it was simply just on the line. So that's one other change that we've seen both in the collegiate level and the high school level. Calvin Sherwood leading 2-0 with 10 seconds to go in this first period, ahead of Connor Winkles of Albany. Connor, a sophomore as well. That ends our first period, I believe.
Should be
Albany's
ROCORI's
choice.
Or Albany's choice.
Albany defers. Sherwood chooses the down position to start our second period. Team score 9-4 in favor of Albany, with a decision and a forfeit by Little Falls at 120. Connor Winkles trying to take some of Calvin Sherwood's posts away. Sherwood continues to work up to a base. Working on getting hand control and coming up out of there.
Yeah, Winkles is riding pretty tough on top, but not very tight. Get Sherwood to do a little hand control and come up and
Sherwood and Winkles working the edge of the mat here, trying to get off, maybe get a fresh start.
Get a fresh start.
We'll get a fresh start here and see if we can score some points here before the end of the second period. 1:05 to go. 2-0. In favor of Sherwood.
Scoring here before the period ends would be real big for Sherwood.
Beautiful stand up by Calvin Sherwood's going to go ahead and get his 1 point escape. Makes the score 3-0 in favor of Calvin Sherwood of Little Falls. 126-pound match. Albany Huskies, Granite Ridge conference foe. Again, Connor Winkles placing third at Sauk Center. Sherwood tries to do the emo catcher, famous emo catcher by Coach Ballou. Wasn't able quite finish it. Winkles picks up the 2 point takedown. .20 seconds to go in the second period. Winkles does have a cradle hooked up. Looks like he's in danger of giving up at least a near fall here, but Sherwood trying to maintain his base. Clock's on our side here with
less than 10 seconds to go.
Down to 5. Winkles continuing to try to turn Sherwood, but Sherwood blocked out pretty good here. And that's going to end the second period with a score 3-2 in favor of the Flyer wrestler. Albany gets a choice, chooses down.
Hopefully Sherwood could lock up that cradle again while he's on top.
Always probably a little nerve-wracking when you're opposing Little Falls, and some of the wrestlers are pretty good at that Flyer, because the natural tendency, of course, is to take down. It's the best chance to score points, but not always the easiest when you're placing the Flyers with their ability to cradle.
Yeah, you just got to know your wrestler and have faith in what they can do.
There's a high half, or half Nelson, if you will. Sherwood has. If he can able to get out. There's the cradle again. You can hear the coaches on the sideline. Watch the cradle.
Getting a little high here over the top of the arms. Need to stay back.
Sherwood spins back behind. And we're off the mat. Winkles again going down to the center of the mat. 1:28 remaining, third period. 3-2 score. Close duel. Close match, excuse me.
Close match.
Thanks once again to Flyer Media Production for bringing you these high school events. Tonight is wrestling, triangular, Little Falls versus Albany, and then we'll follow that up at approximately, I would guess it'll probably approximately be 7:30-ish, 8 o'clock, with a match against the longtime rival ROCORI Spartans. On Thursday night, if you're a hockey fan, you can tune in to Flyer Media Productions.
Looks like we got the cradle locked up.
Watch our Flyers play Wadena Deer Creek. Sherwood's got the cradle hooked up, trying to get some turnover, trying to get some back points out of this if we can, perhaps work for a fall. Connor Winkles blocking Udy. There's bringing them back. He's trying to bring them back, and there's Winkles able to roll through. Winkles pops an arm through, and there we got an escape. We got a tie match.
Need a takedown to win it.
With 20 seconds remaining in this third period. Could this be another overtime match, our second one of the night in just 3 matches?
Yeah.
Down to 10 seconds. Sherwood picks up the leg and the head. They go off the mat 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Heading toward overtime, but you never know.
Here's where conditioning will be a factor.
Calvin Sherwood in on a beautiful double leg. 2 seconds remaining. 2 seconds. He's not going to be able to finish.
Run out of time.
We set the clock for 1 minute while we begin our sudden victory overtime. If they score in the first minute, otherwise we have a second and a third 30-second periods, which would be a tough one early in the season on both wrestlers, I'm sure. Winkles picks up 2 points and another victory for the Huskies, making that 2 overtime wins for the Huskies here tonight. Picking up 3 points for a decision, making the score 12-4 in favor of Albany as we enter the enter the 132 pound match.
And it looks like we're going to be open at this weight as well.
We do have a wrestler, Cole Kern, coming out maybe at 132.
Little adjustment from the program.
Looks like Cole Kern. Cole Kern made it to 11th grader Cole Kern, wrestling 132 against Peyton Crumry of Albany. Crumry was a 6th place winner at Sauk Center last Thursday night. Kern, I don't believe, wrestled at Columbia, Chisago, I want to say Columbia Heights,
Lakes, yeah,
but Chisago Lakes.
I don't believe he did wrestle.
Kern does have quite a bit of experience in the Flyer program, but Crumry able to pick up a leg and get some near fall points.
Has a quick takedown and right to the back.
We got 2 near fall, makes the score 4-0. Kern able to go back to the stomach and see if we can work to her base and get out of here and get kind of a fresh start here, as we was bombarded earlier here in the first period.
Yep. We need to get Cole on top so he can work his cradles.
Looks like Albany's been working some arm bars in practice. Crumry trying to hook up an arm bar. Kern trying to hold back, even grabbing his own wrist there to keep it from getting sucked across, but Crumry able to hook up the arm bar.
Yep.
He's got the wrist and the arm bar. Kern's got his work up. The arm bar went too far forward, became potentially dangerous hold. Looks like Cole Kern perhaps has a little bit of a Charlie horse, a little bit of a cramp here tonight. There was bananas at lunch. He should have had a banana or two. Maybe he couldn't eat.
Probably couldn't eat. This will give him a injury time, a little break in the action.
Looks like we're doing a little Charlie horse. We start our 2-minute injury timeout. Just for wrestling fans that know the change in our rules a few years back was injury timeout is your first one's kind of a freebie, if you will. Second one is the person who you're opposing has the choice of where he wants to put you after the second injury timeout. So hopefully it's one and done here on the Charlie horse for Cole Kern. Again, Peyton Crumry of Albany, 6th place finish at the Sauk Center tournament.
9th grader?
Crumry looks like a 9th grader. So we stopped the injury time with about 1:20 gone, 1:21 gone. 44 seconds remaining in the first period. Crumry on top of Cole Kern at this point, 4-0. Kern able to face him, does get a whizzer in, hips into him, and it looks like we got a good chance at a reversal potentially here.
Scoot around behind, got the legs in, should be 2.
Kern does have his hips up and the anchor, picks up the 2 points. 4-2, our
good
score.
Work by Kern.
Kern again holding him deep waist here and picks up the anchor. 12 seconds remaining in this first period.
I believe it should be our choice in the second period.
4-2 at the end of the first period. Cole Kern has his choice.
Should defer.
He defers to Albany. Albany decides to go neutral. He's going to go ahead and try to take Kern down again. Cole Kern give up the early takedown, but a nice job battling back to score points at the end of that first period. Both wrestlers in an elbow collar tie here.
Oh,
Cole with a beautiful in on a nice single leg. If he can get that arm across at the waist, he could pick up 2 points here possibly on a double. There it is, nice 2 points. Kern with the 2-point takedown.
If we can get some back points.
Kern working up again, going to see if he can get a turn here. Little Falls could use a major decision or a fall possibly to get the momentum going back their way here while we wrestle at 132. Albany leading the Flyers 12-4.
Kern's riding tough on top, working the deep waist and cross face. Now it looks like he's working, trying to trap that arm and working arm bar, or got a wrist and a half. It's nice to see Cole mixing it up on top, trying different things.
Tie score 4-4, 45 seconds remaining second period. Cole Kern with a reversal and a takedown.
And the stall call.
Jim Repke decides that Cole Kern is just riding too parallel and gives him a stalling warning. One more stalling would constitute a point for Crumry, so Kern needs to get busy on top. Crumry stands to his feet, spins in, looks like he's got a double leg situation, but Kern flattens him out and sprawls back.
Yep, got to sprawl and get around behind so you don't give up that two.
Doing a nice job of not giving up any points.
Yep. Picks
up the anchor, if you will, picks up that far ankle and circles back around to escape without giving up an escape. Is that redundant? Escape to give up an escape. 10 seconds remaining second period, 4-4 our score. We've had some pretty good matches so far. Everyone's pretty close.
Couple overtimes.
There's Kern, picks up the cradle, but going to run out of time.
Now it'll be interesting to see what choice he makes. I think he almost has to choose down, being tied up going in the third period.
4-4, Kern does choose down. See if we can, Little Falls, see if they can pull one of these close matches out here. Crumry tries to get a cradle. Looks like Kern's going to be able to spin inside, but he goes to his base. Kern battling inside. Crumry trying to work. There's a possible switch.
Possible reversal.
There's a reversal by Kern. Pulls his head out there. Will be good.
Oh, in trouble now with the headlock. No points yet. Roll through, hip through before you give up the two.
There's a hip through. Nice job by Kern battling away from that headlock. 2-point reversal makes the score 6-4. 1:25 remaining in the third period.
Now let's see if we can get a turn and get some back points.
Kern going to work on top. He does have one stalling warning against him. Needs to make sure he's working hard up on top.
Looking for a step through Turk.
Cole Kern Jr. wrestling Peyton Crumry, ninth grader from Albany. Kern able to break Crumry down.
Yeah, we're gonna
needs to get working here.
Yep, needs to get off to the side.
There's the cradle, possible cradle hookup.
Kern get the anchor.
Hooking up the anchor. Maybe perhaps looking at what we call a barbed wire. Some people call it the butcher, I believe. Yep. There it is. There's the barbed wire. He does pick it up. Good chance for a fall here.
Yep. Get your weight
30 seconds. There it is. There's a 6-point fall for the Flyers by junior Cole Kern.
28 seconds left
over Peyton Crumry. Picks up a fall at 5:32 of the third period.
Those bonus points are going to be crucial.
That was crucial. Brought again, maybe that momentum factor that the Flyers needed to get back. Team score 12-10.
In favor.
Move on to 138.
In favor of Albany.
Looks like another possible wrestling name in the Central Minnesota area. Central Minnesota area. A lot of Mergens wrestled for ROCORI back in the day. Now we have Mergen wrestling at Albany. And wrestling, I believe we have Carter Sickles. Carter, a ninth grader, inexperienced varsity wrestler, but in talking to him and through the halls and stuff and visiting with him in school today, really excited about being a wrestler. He's committed to doing very well. So great opportunity to get out here earlier in the year. Trent Krupke battling, I believe, a back injury. And so not in the lineup tonight will be your senior who would normally be in that spot. So great opportunity for Carter Sickles to see what he can do here tonight in a triangular against Granite Ridge Conference rival. He does pick up near fall points.
Going to turn attention to dangerous.
Sickles battling back. He did give up 2 near fall, but
should be able to award
good shape to at least
here.
get an escape here if we can get an escape at the end of this first period. 5 seconds remaining.
Nope.
Instead gets a near fall point. So
fall.
8-0 after the first period here. Will Mergen, sophomore from Albany, leading 9th grader Carter Sickles. Will Mergen, another one of the Albany wrestlers that wrestled at Sauk Center, placing 3rd at the Sauk Center Early Bird Tournament.
Little Falls chooses up.
Carter Sickles in the top position. See if he can hold Will Mergen down. Will with a nice
Quick
stand up and a quick escape here, it looks like. Moves right into a headlock.
2 reversal.
2 reversal
and back points.
Sickles battling hard here, but Mergen has him in a world of trouble here. Minute 36 to go. It's a long time. And there's the fall for the Albany Huskies. They get the fall right back in the next match. Picks up 16 points, makes the score 18-10 in favor of the Albany Huskies.
Winner by 10 for the Huskies, Will Mergen.
Moving on to 145, we have, if the lineup holds true, Simon Pansky, who was 4-0 last weekend up at Chisago Lake. So a impressive start to the 2018 season for Simon. Simon, another one of those wrestlers who's just wrestled a ton of matches all the way from his kindergarten years all the way through here to the varsity. And I believe he'll be facing Tate Hofarth, I believe.
In quick on a single.
Hofarth, a 5th place finisher at the Sauk Center, 5th place finisher, excuse me, at the Sauk Center tournament.
There's 2 for Simon.
Simon Pansky picks up 2 and goes right away to that Flyer cradle. Hofarth able to fight out of that. 2-0 in favor of Simon Pansky.
Some bonus points out of Pansky would be crucial at this stage of the game.
Pansky hooks up the cradle, but he's got him on the edge. He needs to try to do a roll through if he's going to be able to do that. In order to
got to roll under.
Yeah, unfortunately, was able to work his way off the mat was Hofarth, and they'll go back to the center. Simon Pansky leading the match 2-0. Hofarth, a sophomore. Pansky, a junior. Hofarth working to look him out. Simon doing a nice job of breaking him down.
Got to get that anchor and hook the leg.
Hofarth attempted a switch, was not able to finish it. Pansky follows and is able to stop it. Down to 40 seconds remaining here in the first period. Pansky leading Hofarth 2-0. Flyers behind in the dual meet 10-18. Behind a forfeit and a couple of pins and a couple of overtime wins by the Huskies.
Comes the cradle, got it locked.
There's cradle by Pansky with 22 seconds, and he had it tight. Hofarth able to get it free a little, but there it is again. Tight. That's going to be 13 seconds to go.
Lost his
Pansky
grip.
Unfortunately lost the grip, but does pick up 3 near fall to lead the match 5-0. 5 seconds remaining here in the first period. That ends our first. Simon Pansky with the choice. He takes both up. 5-0 as we start our second period. Wrestlers in the neutral position. Simon Pansky, junior from Little Falls, leading 5-0. 4-0 last weekend in the early tournament, early part of the season here.
He's got a goal behind for 2.
Pansky picks up a quick 2 here at the start of the second period, leads the score 7-0. Again, looking to hook up a far side cradle. It does have an anchor here. Perhaps come off and looking for the what we call the barbed wire, or the butcher, as many people call it.
There he's got the cradle locked.
There he has the cradle with a minute 19.
This one's tight.
There it is. There's the fall. Simon Pansky picks up the fall. 2 minutes and 43 seconds into the match, Simon Pansky picks up a fall, making the score 18-16 in favor of Albany. Pansky improves his record to 5-0 here on the early part of the season. We move on to 152. Ninth grader Hunter Tate is in the lineup for Huskies. And the Flyers present Aiden St. Ange, 10th grader. St. Ange wrestled mostly JV last year for the Flyers. We have a 9th grader versus a sophomore.
There's 2 for Albany.
Albany picks up 2 points.
And a clasping call.
Hunter Tate placed 3rd at the Sauk Center tournament last weekend. Aiden St. Ange picking up a clasping point from Hofarth, making the score 2-1. Oh, excuse me, I moved on to, still in the last match. Hunter Tate, 9th grader from Albany, placed 3rd last weekend at the Sauk Center tournament.
St. Ange was looking for a switch there. Now looking for a roll. Almost had the Granby locked up. Tate's doing a nice job controlling the hips.
Aiden St. Ange working up, 40 seconds remaining in the first period. Tate needs to improve his position a little bit.
Get those hips moving.
"15 seconds to go. St. Ange able to come up with base.
Get a quick one here.
Needs to sprawl and see if he can get his leg back.
Space.
There he's got a cradle hooked up on the side of the mat. Almost hooked up, I should say. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. There's reversal with about 1 second to go.
Good work.
Ties the score. Nope, doesn't. Guys, makes it 3-2 with the clasping call and a reversal. We got 3-2. Albany defers. St. Ange is going to take the up position, which would probably not be surprising when you look at his body type and wrestling for the Flyers with their infamous cradle.
Just need to make sure we stop Tate's first move and then start working your pitting combinations on top.
Tate able to come up, but St. Ange able to take him right back down. Does have a leg in. Crossbody ride. Is trying to hook up the cradle off that crossbody ride. And Tate doing a nice job of defensing that cross ride. It picks up 2. Reversal, making the score 4-3 in favor of the Husky 9th grader. Hunter Tate. On St. Ange in a good position here to try to counter, but gets caught. Gives up the arm. Got to battle through. A little bit of trouble here by Aiden St. Ange as he's trying to battle back to his base.
Yeah, left those arms hanging out there. Doing a nice job fighting, not giving up back points at this time.
If he's able to swing that arm through, he could probably get out of this jeopardy that he's in at this point. Aiden St. Ange, sophomore.
He's got to watch for potentially dangerous here. Nice roll through.
Roll through, I believe. We only had a 1 count. No points given up yet.
Given up, yep.
Nice job of battling. Aiden St. Ange doing a nice job of battling back to his base.
Now if he can get that arm free.
Hunter Tate able to keep that arm locked up and making it difficult for